Hello students, welcome back to the PSC classes. In my last two videos, I have given you the introduction of pre-stressed concrete. We have seen the materials which we use in pre-stressed manufacturing, that is high strength concrete and high strength steel. Okay, we have seen the methods or systems of pre-stressing, right? So today I'll start the analysis of PSC beam. Okay, so what do you mean by the analysis? Analysis means finding out the net stresses. Finding out the net stresses. What do you mean by analysis in the analysis of PSC beam? So in this we are going to find out the net stresses. Finding out net stresses due to dead load, live load, pre-stressing force, and also due to eccentricity. Also due to eccentricity of the cable. So right, I can avoid this eccentricity of the cable also, because eccentricity of pre-stressing force only it is. Okay, so analysis means first finding out the net stresses due to dead load, live load and pre-stressing force in the cross section of the beam is known as analysis. Okay, in RCC, analysis means we were finding the moment of resistance, the beam which the beam can resist, that moment, finding out that moment is called as moment of resistance. So that was in the RCC. In PSC beam, analysis means finding out the net stresses. Those stresses are due to the dead load, live load and pre-stressing forces, right? So here we will determine stresses. Stresses can be determined under two conditions. You have to determine stresses under two conditions. So what are those two conditions we will see? So one condition is initial condition. Initial condition. Second is final condition. Final condition. So determination of net stresses in the initial condition and in the final condition is known as analysis. So that is what we will see in today's class. So first, initial conditions. What do you mean by initial conditions? Initial conditions. In this condition, we will find out the dead load stresses due to the pre-stressing forces. We will find out the dead load stresses. In this means before the application of live load. Before the live load is applied on it, what are the stresses are developed due to stresses developed due to dead load and due to pre-stressing force. Due to pre-stressing force. This is the initial condition before the application of live load. Okay, we are going to find out the stresses due to dead load and pre-stressing forces, right? Second, in this we are not going to consider the live load, because we are determining the stresses before the application of live load, right? So this is the initial condition. Then what is final condition? Final condition, in final condition we will find out the net stresses in the member or in the section, net stresses developed due to dead load plus live load plus pre-stressing force. Okay, together we are going to find out. In this case, stresses due to dead load, live load and pre-stressing force. So initial condition means before the application of live load. Final conditions means after the application of live loads. Okay, so let us see how to determine these. Fine. So this is our longitudinal section of the beam. This will be the centroid of the beam. Okay, do understand how we apply the pre-stressing force here. Okay, this will be the cable or pre-stressing wires, right? If pre-stressing force is applied along the axis of the beam or section, that is called as concentric pre-stressing. Okay, concentric pre-stressing. Okay, then if you are applying this, I have discussed in my second video. Okay, so if this is the center of the beam and you are applying the pre-stressing force at some constant eccentricity, so your cable is like this. Okay, then this is constant eccentricity. Okay, this is how we can apply that was concentric pre-stressing force. This is eccentric pre-stressing force. Eccentric at uniform eccentricity. Okay, there is another, this is constant which I have discussed in my last class. Okay, so we also have another type of pre-stressing, that is the cable will be having this type of profile. Okay, then you will apply pre-stressing for eccentrically, right? So this will be your pre-stressing force, right? So this is varying, eccentricity is varying. Here the eccentricity is E1, here the eccentricity is E2, here the eccentricity is E3, here E4. So this is a tendon with varying eccentricity. Fine. So these three types of problems or analysis we are supposed to do, right? If the pre-stressing force is applied along the axis of the beam, then it is called as concentric. Okay, so let P be the pre-stressing force. So let us see how to analyze a beam, pre-stressing beam. So the terminology we use is let P is equal to pre-stressing force applied. Pre-stressing force applied. It will be in kilonewtons. Okay, so we apply some force to pre-stress the tendon. Okay, that is will be in kilonewtons. So let P is the pre-stressing force in kilonewton. Then A is the area of cross section of the given section. Area of cross section of the beam. Okay, then there is a dead load bending moment due to dead load, WD L square by 8. WD is the dead load, self weight of the beam. L is the effective span. This is the effective span. Whatever load is coming on it because of its cross section, because of the density of the material, that is called as dead load. Okay, we have to find out the dead load bending moment. It is represented as MD. Okay, Z is section modulus. Z is the section modulus of beam. So obviously the beam is rectangular, and we all know what is the section modulus of a rectangular beam or a rectangular section. It is B D square by 6. Okay, then E will be the eccentricity. Sometimes it will be constant, sometimes it will be varying. So eccentricity of what? Eccentricity of pre-stressing force. Now in this case eccentricity is 0. If the pre-stressing force is of some eccentricity, then that will be taken as eccentricity. If eccentricity is varying, so that is also I have shown you. Fine. So eccentricity of the pre-stressing force, right? So we have to find out the stresses at top face and at bottom face. So initial condition, and we have to find out the stresses at top and at the bottom in the analysis of PSC beam. Okay, so in the initial conditions, the net stress at top, okay, stress at top or stresses at top, it is represented by F top. Some people refer it as support. Okay, so F top is equal to this due to the pre-stressing force P by A plus dead load bending moment by section modulus minus, if eccentricity is there, eccentricity will also induce bending moment. P into E is the bending moment due to eccentricity. So this will be the net stress at top. This is initial condition. There is no live load bending moment. Then stresses at bottom or stress at bottom. We represent it by F bottom. So that will be equal to P by A minus MD by Z, dead load bending moment by Z, plus eccentricity bending moment, that is pre-stressing force bending moment because of eccentricity. We all know that whenever there is an eccentricity in the cable, bending moment will be coming because of eccentricity. P into E will be that bending moment. Okay, so this is the initial condition. Stress on top face, stress on bottom face. Okay, now final conditions. So final conditions already I have said you. In this we are going to consider the live load. We are going to consider the live load. After the application of the live load, obviously the stresses will increase and decrease. So where it is increasing, where it is decreasing, when we solve a problem, we will discuss that. Okay, so second is final conditions, that is after the application of live load. Okay, this is once again we have to tell it is stress on top face, F top. Now your bending moment due to live load will also come in the same formula. Okay, so this is P by A, stress due to pre-stressing force, plus MD by Z, stress due to dead load bending moment, plus stress due to live load bending moment, minus stress due to eccentricity of the pre-stress. If there is no eccentricity, then you can eliminate the terminology. Last term you can remove it. Okay, that is on top face. Then again stress on bottom face, F bottom. Okay, similar formula holds good. Only the thing is that we have to change the sign. P by A minus MD by Z minus ML by Z plus PE by Z. So this is how, using this ready-made formulas, we will determine the stresses before the application of live load and after the application of live load. Okay, again these problems will be having three categories, right? The first one is where you are the pre-stressing force is applied concentrically, that is without any eccentricity. Second is how the eccentricity, when it is constant eccentricity. Third is when the varying eccentricity. Another problem, eccentricity will not be given to you in the question, we have to find the eccentricity. So this all four types of problems we will solve. Okay, so first one is without eccentricity, that is the pre-stressing force will be applied concentrically. It will be applied concentrically. Okay, so you can see I have already written a question. Okay, a question. I hope this is clear for you. How we determine the stresses, that is called analysis. It's not a big issue to solve or to find the analysis of a PSC beam, right? So the question is a PSC beam simply supported at both ends. It is subjected to a UDL of intensity 40 kilonewton per meter over a span of 5 meter. The cross section of the beam is 350 mm by 550 mm. A concentric force, as I said you, we will first solve an easy problem. Okay, then the level of difficulty will be going higher and higher, right? So first the simplest problem I have picked, that is a concentric pre-stressing force of intensity 1900 kilonewton is applied on the cross section of the beam. Sketch the stress distribution at the bottom for initial and final condition. Whether it is mentioned or not, analysis means you have to find out and you have to sketch. So this simple problem first we will solve, and the next problem will be somewhat more difficult or involving more calculations. Fine. So first we will solve the problem stepwise. First step will be what is given in the question. That must be taken down always. Then according to the data we can start the solving. Any problem, okay, any subject, any problem, always check down the data given to you in the question. Okay. So our first data what is given, that I am taking as step 1, given. Okay. So first I will draw. Okay, first I will take down what is given. The section size is given as 350 mm. Its overall section size is given as 350, and overall depth will be given as 550 mm is given as. Okay. It is subjected to a UDL of, that is a live load, because it is subjected to a externally, so that's a live load, 40 kilonewton per meter, and effective span is given as 5 meters. Fine. A concentric pre-stressing force of 1900 kilonewton. It's concentric, that means there is no eccentricity. We are applying the pre-stressing force exactly at the center of the beam, CG of the beam, means cable is laid there. Right? So anything else? No. So with this we can start our problem. So first I will draw how. So this is your cable and this is the pre-stressing force of P. Okay, it's 5 meters. It is subjected to a UDL of live load, that is. Now if you draw a section of 350 mm, 550 mm. Okay, fine. So what all given we have taken in the step 2, we'll find out the bending moments. First is bending moment due to dead load. Okay, then we need to calculate the dead load. So dead load is equal to dead load, or it is also called as self weight. So density here, it's a plain concrete. What you will be using in pre-stress will be plain concrete. It's not RCC. If it is an RCC, then the density of concrete will be 25 kilonewton per cubic meter. In these cases, the density of the concrete will be 24 kilonewton per cubic meter. That is plain cement concrete. 24 kilonewton per cubic meter. So you get dead load as density of concrete multiplied by the cross section. Okay, so 24 divided by 0.35 multiplied by 0.35 and 0.55. Okay, so you will get dead load as 4.62 kilonewton per meter. Okay, 4.62 kilonewton per meter. Immediately you find out dead load bending moment. Dead load bending moment. Okay, you can write in a full form. Okay, dead load bending moment. Okay, you can represent it like this, MDL or MD, that is equal to WD L square by 8. So substituting that, WD is, just now we have calculated, it is 4.62 multiplied by the effective span. Be careful, it should be effective span by 8. So you will get a value of 14.43. Okay, 14.43 into 10 to the power of 6 Newton mm. Okay, so I have taken in kilonewton per meter and meter, and I have converted it into Newton mm. Okay, now then live load bending moment, we'll calculate it. Already it is given to us. Live load is given as 40 kilonewton per meter. So live load bending moment ml is equal to WL L square by 8. Your WL is 40 kilonewton per meter into 5 square by 8. Okay, so that live load bending moment is 125 kilonewton meter or into 10 to the power of 6 Newton mm. Okay, it's 125 into 10 to the power of 6. Fine, so you got it. Now we'll find out in the step 3 stresses in the initial condition and in the final condition. Initial condition first. So in initial condition again we have to find stress at top, stress at bottom. Stress on top face, F top. If you remember, it is initial condition. We should not take bending moment due to live load. So first I will write down the formula so that there is no confusion. P by A plus MD by Z minus P into E by Z. There is no eccentricity, so this is also vanished. So simply at top it is P by A plus MD by Z. So we have to calculate Z also, right? So Z is equal to section modulus of the section. Z is equal to 1/6 of B into D square. Okay, so 1 by 6 350 into 550 square. So we get Z is equal to 11.81 into 10 to the power of 6 mm cube B D square mm cube. So actually this should have been calculated in the step 2 only, just we missed it. I have calculated. Now simply put the values. Okay, so we have stress at top. Formula is already written on the board. Simply, because it's a basic problem to begin with, okay, stress at top, F top, directly I am writing F top is equal to P by A. P is 1900 kilonewton, so 1900 into 10 to the power of 3 by area 350 into 550 plus dead load bending moment by Z. Dead load bending moment is 14.43 into 10 to the power of 6 divided by Z, 11.81 into 10 to the power of 6. So in this way we get the value at the top of the section before the application of live load. Fine. So this we got it as 12.06 plus 1.22. So finally the stress at top face in the initial condition is 13.28 Newton per mm square. Okay, very simple. Stress at bottom or on bottom face, already formula is there. This is just a case, that is initial condition case, where there is no live load, and also it's a concentric, so there is no eccentricity stress also, right? So F bottom will be P by A minus M dead load by Z plus P into E by Z. Once again there is no eccentricity, so this term will not be there. So P by A already we calculated it is 12.06 and MD by Z minus 1.22. So when the live load is not applied in the initial condition, the stress at bottom is equal to 10.84 Newton per mm square. So this is before the application of live load. Okay, these are the stresses on the top face of the beam and the bottom of the beam. Okay, so let us see when in the final condition, that is when load is applied. When load is applied, only extra thing will come, that is here plus bending moment due to live load by Z, here minus bending moment due to live load by Z. But see in pre-stressed member how the stresses changes on the application of load, whether it is increasing or decreasing, and in what fashion it is going to increase or it is decreasing. What are the advantages we can see, right? So I am doing now step 3 only for final conditions, that is after the application of live load. Initial condition stresses are completed. Final condition, in the final condition live load will be there. Okay, so very simple. Again we have to find out the final stress at the top face and the final stress at the bottom face. After we calculate these things, we will discuss the advantage of pre-stressing, okay, pre-stress concrete. Fine. So here it is, if you remember, it's P by A plus MD by Z plus ML by Z minus P by Z. So once again I repeat, there is no eccentricity, so this goes off, right? So P by A, P is 1900 kilonewton, the cross section. Dead load bending moment is 14.43 into 10 to the power of 6 by Z 11.81 into 10 to the power of 6 plus live load 125 into 10 to the power of 6 by Z 11.81 into 10 to the power of 6. So their stresses, it will be in Newton per mm square. So again same values comes here. P by A will be 12.06. Okay, MD by Z will be 1.22. Okay, ML by Z will be 10.584. 10.584. After you use your calculator, you get these values. So the net stress at top will be 23.86. So make a note of this because we are going to discuss. So this is after the application of stresses, live load, sorry. Now net stress at the bottom of the section in the final condition is P by A minus dead load bending moment by Z minus live load bending by Z. If anything is there, eccentricity is there, then PE by Z. So this is not there for us. Already we have the value. Simply we'll copy. It is getting reduced. You can see it is getting reduced. After the live load is applied, the stress at the bottom is getting reduced. It is only 0.26 Newton per mm square. So when I said the principle of pre-stressing, I told in my first video that the purpose of pre-stressing is to reduce the final stresses. We are reducing the final stresses, bottom stresses, see 10.84 to 0.26. Okay, so this is how we are calculating the stresses. Fine. So keep the values. I'll show you the diagram. Okay, I'll wrap this part. Stress diagram. Sketch the stress diagram. So all the four components, that is P by A, MD by Z. So we cannot show the initial condition as well as the final condition stresses, right? We'll just show final stress conditions. So these are the final stress conditions. Okay, so how to sketch the stresses are P by A. You can see P by A is same. Here it is 12.06 at top and bottom also it is 12.06. Right? So it is same. Top and bottom it is same. So this is your 12.06. So I am drawing the stress components. Okay? Then comes dead load bending moment. Stress due to the dead load bending moment. Okay? You can see it is 1.22, 1.22. Fine? But one is positive, one is negative. So I'll just take positive this side, negative this side. Okay? So 1.22, 1.22. They're all in Newton per mm square. I need not show because it's a sketch. Okay? This is also 1.22. So this is the stress diagram due to dead load bending moment. Then plus live load bending moment 10.584. And the same thing here, minus 10.584. Okay? So one is minus, one is plus. So once again they are same. Only the sign is opposite. So a big diagram I have drawn. So 10.84, 10.84. This is the stress due to live load bending moment. Now comes the resultant stress. Okay? So you can just draw first one vertical line to show the resultant stress. Resultant stress at top is 23.86 and at bottom it is 0.26. So the diagram is very unsymmetric. Fine? So you have to draw 23.86 representation at top. Okay? So it will be quite big, 23.86. Final stress which is positive and below it is 0.26. Like this. This is 0.26. Okay? This is final stress at bottom. Okay? This is at top. Fine? So this is how we draw the stress diagram. Stress distribution diagram. So this is how we have done a simple problem. Fine? So we'll go to the next problem with eccentricity.